Massachusetts Governor Deval Patrick has become the latest Democrat to drop out of the race for the White House. Patrick was the last African-American candidate in the Democratic primary. Entrepreneur Andrew Yang and Colorado Senator Michael Bennet both dropped out late yesterday. The winner of the New Hampshire primary, Senator Bernie Sanders, and the other 7 remaining candidates are now turning their focus to Nevada and South Carolina.
I have no doubt that we will defeat Donald Trump.
Because of you, we are taking this campaign to Nevada. We are going to South Carolina.
We go forward knowing that this is our chance.
Former Vice President Joe Biden headed to South Carolina even before the polls closed in New Hampshire. He came in 5th in last night's primary behind Senator Elizabeth Warren.
Joining us now is Melinda Jackson. She is a political science professor at San Jose State University. Professor, let's start with Bernie Sanders. He didn't win by as much as some people thought, and he's currently polling 3rd in Nevada and South Carolina. How important is that win in New Hampshire for his campaign?
Well, I think it's very important. He's really risen in the polls, and I think a lot of people are going to be taking a closer look at him now. Let's keep in mind that we're still very early in the Democratic primary season, though, and other candidates like Buttigieg, Klobuchar are looking pretty strong as well. But, you know, these early states are very different from the rest of the country. So I think as we get into Nevada, South Carolina, and then coming up on Super Tuesday, where California is poised to have a really big impact, we may see those results start to change quite a bit.
Joe Biden had another really rough night last night in New Hampshire, but now he is leading in the polls in both Nevada and South Carolina. If he has a good turnout there, can he reemerge as a front runner in this race?
Well, it's possible, but it's really looking like a long shot at this point. And if he doesn't have a strong showing in Nevada and South Carolina, then I think it's looking pretty grim for the Biden campaign. And it just goes to show how surprising these things can be. You know, the conventional wisdom was really that he was the front runner coming into this race, and so far, you know, that hasn't true. But again, we're still very early in the contest. I wouldn't rule him out yet. He is the most experienced candidate in the race. So far, that doesn't seem to be resonating with voters that much, but you know, I hesitate to make any predictions at this point, but Biden is really having a much more uphill climb than a lot of us would have predicted.
Going back to New Hampshire, what can we tell there, if anything, from the progressive versus moderate vote?
Yeah, well, I think it's very interesting that what we're seeing in 2020 so far is the same thing that we saw in 2016, in a sense that voters on both sides, both Democrats and Republicans, seem to be willing to take a chance on outsiders, whether you're looking at, you know, a candidate like Bernie Sanders or a candidate like Pete Buttigieg, who is more moderate but very inexperienced, right? So I think we are seeing this divide among the Democratic electorate between those who favor a more progressive, more liberal agenda and those who favor a more moderate, centrist agenda. But because we have so many candidates still in the race at this point, those votes are really getting split up and divided between, you know, 6 different candidates.
All right, well, a long way to go. Melinda Jackson from San Jose State, thanks so much for your input today. We appreciate it.
You're welcome.